Hello, everyone. It's me again. I do not have the usual content that I usually have, but this is an emergency, and a friend of mine called me up and he wanted to tell me about the upcoming financial crisis that is coming or might come. And he felt like you guys needed some information in case it does happen in order to be ready and your families be ready and prepared. So I did find today an article that was discussing the upcoming crisis, and what is this? I'm gonna play it now. It's 1 minute and 38 seconds.
To the Biden administration's religious war in Ukraine, this country is about to run out of diesel fuel. According to data from the Energy Information Administration, by the Monday of Thanksgiving week, that's 25 days from now, there will be no more diesel. So what's going to happen then? Well, everything will stop. That means trucks and trains and barges all unable to move. Farm equipment will shut down. There will be no deliveries because there will be no trucks. There will be no diesel generators. And then inevitably, our economy will crash because everything runs on diesel fuel. Not on solar panels, not on wind farms, on diesel fuel. Diesel is not a negotiable commodity. You have to have diesel. The problem is, at this point, there may not be an answer because there may not be a way to avoid a disaster. Diesel fuel is not just low in this country, it's low in every Western nation that has aligned itself with Ukraine. All these nations preparing for World War Trans are running out of diesel fuel. The Northeast Home Heating Oil Reserve contains 1 million barrels of diesel in case of emergencies. The problem is that demand is so high across the board that, according to the Washington Post, even if the Biden administration used every single barrel in that stockpile would be empty in less than 6 hours. Countries rise and fall on the basis of what energy costs. And when there's a real energy shortage, things fall apart. People die, economies collapse, poverty sets in, systemic poverty, not just in the bad part of town, but in your part of town. So this is a real thing.
You heard that?
Yeah, Queen, I heard it.
That sounds like the perfect setup for a goddamn another depression type of thing to happen.
Well, Queen, we've been talking for the longest, and I've been telling you, I keep you updated on a lot of things that's going on. And one of the major things that's going on is BRICS. And if you don't know what BRICS is, you definitely need to look it up. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They all formed together. And at first, they formed together, they started buying real estate. But now, through the currency war, they all basically formed together and they all went gold back. And what a lot of people may or may not know is that in March of this past year, the U.S. lost the petrodollar, and
And
Saudi Arabia.
what exactly is the petrodollar?
Well, and around the time of Nixon, what they did was they came off the gold standard. So what happened was when came off the gold standard, they made a deal with Saudi Arabia, and the deal was, hey, um, we're gonna well, basically, you're gonna use our dollar for gold. So I mean, not for gold, for fuel. So anybody who wants to buy fuel from Saudi Arabia had to use the U.S. dollar. It don't matter if
Was
it was
was that
Russia,
just was that just
Japan, any.
Saudi? Oh, so it was Saudi Arabia, Russia, and Japan, or Saudi
No, no, no.
Arabia is has the oil, and to buy it from them, all the countries have to have their currency,
The
have to
United
buy it
States
in
dollar.
their right.
Yes. So what happened was it didn't matter what country it was that they had to use the United States Federal Reserve note to buy fuel. And the deal was for Saudi Arabia, they get to use we get access to the fuel, and they get access to our military. That's why the whole time our military through the 80s, 90s, our military was over there all the time because
Mm-hmm.
they have access to our military and we had access to their fuel. And in turn, everybody had, so didn't matter what country it was. It could be Yugoslavia. If they needed fuel, they would have to get US dollars to buy fuel, which pumped US dollars and made it really high.
More valuable. Right,
Yes,
right,
it
right.
made it much more valuable than what it was because at the end of the day, I tell people all the time it's not really money, that's just paper. So what in turn what happened this past March is uh, Biden lost the contract and the contract went to China. China won the contract in March. So when China won the contract, they already was a part of BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. What happened was they said, okay, well now in order for you to buy fuel, you have to use gold. We don't want no dollars no more. We want gold. We want real money. We don't
Right.
no dollars. Not we want and then what they did was their they took their currencies and made them gold back. They gold back their currencies. So they no longer want any Federal Reserve notes. So this is a war against the Federal Reserve,
Mm-hmm.
which is in turn is the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and people like that. So the war is against the Federal Reserve, where they're trying to do away with the Federal Reserve and basically bring us back to
To
the
go
gold
back
standard.
money.
Yes,
So in order for that to happen, it's gonna have to crash. We've been hearing that for years that there was gonna be a crash and the money was gonna fall. The reset was happening. So you're
yes,
saying the reset is about to happen. So
yes,
while we're over here worrying about who's killing who and music and entertainment and Krishan Rock and Blueface and all these things we're worrying about, this is about to happen.
yes. I mean, people have to understand a lot of this stuff that's going on is a major distraction. A major distraction. Now, this war that's been going on between these different fashions, Queen, it's been going for a long time. This is nothing new. It's just that now it's the right time. I mean, we entered to the age of Aquarius, so it's all about truth. So, what I mean, justice, everything. So everything is going to come out now. Everything, the time, for it to happen. So
Right.
that's why a lot of this stuff is definitely going down right now. And if you're paying attention even a little bit, people, you will see it. It's
Hmm.
right in your face. I mean, they then Washington D.C. has bars around it. The Queen is gone. The Pope is gone, and the Pope he has a rubber mask on his damn face. So that's somebody playing the Pope, and you can look
Hmm.
that up. So I mean, these people are gone. The first place they took down was the Vatican. Second place was Washington D.C. Lastly was the Queen. And remember, they took her out of Buckingham Palace like 2 years ago. So that should have been your sign right there. When
And
you
that was
see,
around the time when Henry left the when Henry left.
yes,
Right.
yes,
So nobody can't deny that because the time matches with each other.
yes. Well, she came out with a video around like 2018, basically saying that, hey, this may be our last year in Buckingham Palace. So they knew they knew their contract was up.
That the
Their
time was up.
contract was up in 2019. I think they might got a year, a year out of it because of COVID, and all this stuff. But other than that,
So let me
they
ask you this
if you
question.
remember, she couldn't even wear her crown.
So do you think in your opinion, do you think that this is why Kanye did this at this time?
Honestly, Queen, I don't know, but if it's ever a time to do it, it's now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's now because the overseers are gone. The people, we have to realize that the people are starting to stand out in Hollywood and starting to talk because they're starting to see that their overseers are gone. They didn't knocked out most of the overseers, the people who was making this system go. And I'm gonna let everybody know that it didn't start with George Bush or anything like that. It was way before him. But if you remember, George Bush talked about, and I'm talking about Daddy Bush, the first one. When he ran for presidency. Go listen to his speech where he talks about the 1,000 points of light, the New World Order, and the 1,000 points of light, because that's what a lot of this stuff is about. And every president after him said the same. Go look up their 1,000 points of light speech or speeches. Every single president. The president that stopped it was Donald Trump, and he went against it. He went against their 1,000 points of light. He said, "What is 1,000 points of light? What is that?" And go listen to these speeches. What these people are talking about, they're talking about Satanism. They're talking about Luciferianism. They're talking about them Luciferianism and Satanism connecting all together. That's what they're talking about. So, but he just put it in a fancy wording, in a fancy way to say it. So when you have, and it's not that I'm a trumper. It's not that I'm just stating the facts that it's a war going on, and you can clearly see it. And now is the time that the people that's fighting against or that fought against the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, this was the time for them to start coming out. They knew this was their time was over. It's up. Their time is up. It's over. You know what I mean? So we have to understand that. So you're gonna hear guys like Kanye West come out. You're gonna start to hear even more celebrities start to come out.
Yeah, because like I was telling you yesterday when we were talking, I was surprised that Russell Simmons said what he said. That he was supporting Kanye. Like he was like, "You're free now." That's what he told him.
Yes,
And then not only that, but Young Thug from his jail cell, from his federal jail cell, told him that he could use his land, his 1 acres of land, to build his Yeezy stores, his own stores.
yes. It's time. Our overseers or their overseers are gone. They're gone.
Hmm.
The people that's holding you down now is your own people.
It's your own
And
people.
that's
It's the
the thing
people
about it is what Kanye has exposed now. He
he
has brought
has
he brought
definitely
out,
exposed that.
yes, all the people that basically are against you are the people that's going to be against him because they don't you know what I mean, they they don't want the light shined on them. So their overseers going to say, "Hey, look, we're going to cut our relationship if you don't get this, shut this guy up." So they're trying to get him to
But
shut
we
up.
don't need them to support him. We can support him ourselves.
Yes, but you have to understand, Queen, we've been subservient to these people for so long
That
that
we're
you have to,
trained.
yes,
Hmm.
that these people are trained. They're trained to have a daddy. Go back to Cadillac Records. They're trained
Hmm.
to have a daddy.
Those are
You know,
facts.
you had two different sides. You had Howlin' Wolf that said, "Look, man, we don't need these people," and you had my man. I can't forget it. I forgot his name, but you had him who was right up under that guy, always asking for money, always needed a daddy.
Yeah, because Elon Musk just gave Kanye back his Twitter account. He really did buy Twitter. And I'm wondering if he's going to give Trump back his Twitter account.
Yeah. That's another thing. I want to let everybody know, if you ever heard of the app called Signal, definitely put Signal on your phone,
Mm-hmm.
because if everything goes down, if they shut down the communication systems, we don't know. Also, call precautionary reasons for you to get in touch with your loved ones. You're going to have to use Signal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is the reason why I called Queen and I said, "Hey, look, Queen, I gotta let these people know. Yeah, I gotta let them
Mm-hmm.
know what exactly is going on, and um, and for them to be prepared." Now, one of the ways monetarily, if you have it, to be prepared, I would suggest people to buy silver.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only, I mean, if you don't have it, you don't have it. But if you can get, I don't know, 100 ounces, 50 ounces, whatever you can afford, yeah, whatever you can afford, buy it. Because
Mm-hmm.
when they correct these prices, we don't know where silver is going to go, because it's less silver in the world than gold. So silver should be actually worth more than gold.
Mm-hmm. And they were talking about somewhere I was reading about investing in copper too.
Yes, all of it, all precious. See, in the new world, every precious metal is going to be worth more. Every precious metal. It doesn't matter what it is. And I'm talking, when I say more, I don't mean just a couple of dollars like you go to the junkyard. I mean, um, I'm hearing silver can jump up anywhere between 500 an ounce to 5,000 an ounce to even more than that. you know
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing some astronomical numbers right now. You can get silver pretty cheap, maybe $25 an ounce and stuff, something like that. But I want to let my people know, hey, if you can go buy some silver, go buy some silver, because they are running out. People are buying silver up. You got to understand, these people, they already know about it. They've been preparing for this for a while. So silver is drying up,
Mm-hmm.
and so you need to go and purchase the silver.
I'm gonna tell my mother tomorrow. I'm calling her in the morning to tell her to buy all the silver she can buy.
Yes. One of the people that I brought it from was apmex.com. And they deliver it right to your house. You have to sign for it because it is money.
Appmax.com.
Yes. Apmex.
APPMAX.
apmmex.com.
APMMEX.com. Okay.
Yeah, so that's one way that if they want to protect themselves financially, they can. Now the thing about it is, I'm hearing some good things, because is it's not a lot of information out there, but it's a lot of information out there, if you know what I mean. Because I've been following the underground news for like the past 4 years. I've been in this since 2015. But now the thing about it is, as of oh, maybe like a
You
month
said you.
ago,
I'm sorry to bother you.
yes,
APMEX.com.
yes, AP M
Mm,
as in Mary, E as in Edward, X as in X-ray.com.
okay.
Yes, at mex.com. So, no, people, like I said, get whatever you can afford, because if you want to protect yourself financially. But I heard some good things. I have heard that the United States have another currency that they're ready to switch to. That is
Mm-hmm.
gold. Now you have one that's not gold back. You have the other one that is. So I have heard of it, but it's not going to come out until after this election. It will be
Mm-hmm.
after the election, before the beginning of the new year. So you're talking about a couple months. You know what I mean? Within this time. we do not know. However, after the election to the beginning of the year, and that's the time frame that I'm pretty much hearing. But I heard that the United States have gone. I'm sorry, the American side um, has been going go back. The Treasury
So
has.
so if they do have this problem with the diesel fuel around Thanksgiving, how long do you think that this problem would last? Like maybe 2 or 3 weeks or so? I just want to give them an idea.
Yeah, I would
Mm-hmm.
suggest people to have enough food, money, cash in the house for about a month,
Okay.
because we do not know how long this is going to last. But I would suggest that it will take about a month for them to get control over everything. Um, because what's going on? I mean, to be honest with you, I already think that everybody that they needed to lock up is locked up. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely do think that. I do think is there are actors and people playing parts of people that's out here. Um, that they it's a lot going on. It's a it was a young lady. Her name was Madison. One moment. I want to get her
I think you
correct.
was telling me about this medicine person, but
Yeah, because she was already. Her name was Madison Marquette. Now she was a porn star that was
mm-hmm.
forced into the business, that was trafficked in the business. Somehow she got pulled in by the government and or the military government, and they was having secret trials on a lot of people in the porn industry.
Mm-hmm.
So there was trafficking people. So it's a
Right, because
lot.
all this
Yeah.
sex trafficking stuff going
Yes.
on.
So it's trials and stuff going on behind the scenes that we're not privy
Yeah,
to.
because Americans are so damn sensitive, you know. They'll go. Everybody will be cuckoo out here. They can't handle all the truth that's going on out in the background. But what's important is forget them. That's their damn problem. We didn't do it. What's important is knowing how to survive. Stop spending y'all money on this bullshit and flossing. Those days is over. Hold your money, y'all. Hold your money.
Yes, definitely. Hold your money. Now from what I heard, there was going to be a bail-in like they did over in China. Now,
Mhm.
China is getting the brunt of it right now. I don't know. I don't know if you guys know, but they shut China down maybe like 2 months ago. I mean,
I
where they
heard
let
about
people
that.
go.
And COVID had came back, right?
Yeah, but they shut them down financially. They couldn't even go to the bank and get their money out.
But why? Don't they have all the damn money in the world over there?
Well, I mean, apparently they're slaves just like us. They're slaves just like us.
Sure.
So, um, but that's called a bail-in. When the bank shut down and closed their doors like that, that's called a bail-in. That means we're keeping your money to survive. Basically, that's called a bail-in.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I heard it was going to happen here, but I heard that that's been shut down. So your money is safe in
Mm-hmm.
the bank.
Good. That's good.
But yeah, but I because at one point in time I pulled my money out. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna lie to you. I pulled some of my money out, like to have enough that if anything happened, I'll be able to survive. So
Mm-hmm.
um like that. But yeah, that's called a bail-in. You got your bailout. What happened in 2008, where they bail out, the people. And from what I heard, they were supposed to give that money to the people. I, I heard that about 2008. They were
Mm-hmm.
supposed to give the money to the people. The money did not get to the people, and the people who gave them the money to give to the people was pretty pissed off.
People always calling me when I'm doing something. Hold on a minute.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You back? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that was that. That's called a bailout. They got bailed out, And but like I said, the people who bailed them out was pissed off because the people were supposed to get that money. The
And they
people didn't get
didn't.
none of that money.
They
None
kept
of
all the money as usual.
yes. So
So what about what we did about our stuff? Now, you don't have to say what it is, but does that play a part somewhere in
oh
what we're
yes,
doing?
of course. No,
Oh, okay. I just
look, I don't pull no punches.
what do
So
they?
a lot of people know. Well, a lot of people don't know. Because you can't even get it no more. But the foreign currency. That's why I didn't put it out there.
Mm,
Foreign currency. What's going to happen with the foreign currency is it's going to adjust.
mm.
So basically, they entered a new financial system. I'm not sure what it's going to be called. I heard the QFS. I heard different things, but I'm hearing different things, but I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be called. But where a dollar in the United States is going to be worth a dollar in China, which is going to be worth a dollar in, you know, certain parts of Africa, all parts of Africa, like where the money is going to be universal. It's no one that's going to dominate the other.
So it won't be no foreign exchange and nothing like that, like it is now.
So so what a lot of people did was rush out. You know, if you knew about it, you brought certain currencies because you knew this was about to happen. I don't know the reason why, I can put the currencies out there, but I don't know if you can get those currencies anymore. Because I know you can't get them from the bank no more. So
Right,
that's
like we wasn't even going that far. I was just asking you for personal reasons.
no,
Right.
but I don't mind telling the people like, hey, look, you had the Iraqi dinar, you had the Vietnamese dong, you had the rial, it's a
The
good amount
Zim,
of countries if you do your research where
the
they're
Zim too, right?
yes,
Hmm.
um, and the Zim is like a bond, so but they're on the list also, the Zimbabwe. Um, yeah, you had a number of currencies that's out there that were basically being suppressed. What happens is the same thing they do with the housing market, where they let it get down real low, they let crime get bad, where the houses is worth next to nothing, and then they
Then it
swoop
shoots
in.
back up.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they swoop in, push the
That's what
crime
they about
out.
to do next year. They were saying that. Some
Yeah,
financial people were saying next year, get yourself ready from now to April, to like May 2023 to buy a house. Yeah.
oh yeah, and we definitely gonna talk about that also. Yeah, because the housing market is definitely going to crash. Um, is the prices are going to go back to like 1972, like
Oh
where
shit.
our prices, yeah, like where because it's not right. If you think about it, it's not right. It is
Hmm.
not right. Because our parents brought or our grandparents bought houses for $12,000, $15,000. And here you
Now
are,
they
same
three, four,
houses.
five, six, 700,000.
Yes, they're charging. My mom house that she paid what 15,000 for is worth 200,000, and we know, like I said, that's inflation. The house is
Listen, me
not
and my
worth that.
mother
It's the
sold
same
our
house.
house. We sold our house in 2014 for 500,000, right?
Wow.
Probably didn't even get all of that
Mm,
with the taxes and whatever else. You know how much the house is worth now? 1.5 million.
wow.
1.5
Ridiculous.
million.
No, but that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that was around the time where they built the Barclay Center over in Brooklyn, and they raised all the property taxes.
Yes.
So they ran us out of there. And they did that at the same time they had the economic crash. So it
Mm,
was crazy. It was crazy.
yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, that's why they put
That's
that
a whole
damn.
other animal. And I'm down here in Philly, so they definitely um doing a lot of dirty stuff down here. So I'm gonna be honest with you, and I would tell the people this because this is another topic that needs to be discussed. So once everything go down. Now let me explain to the people out there what exactly is going down. Now the Constitution is a trust. A lot of people didn't tell you, or you may not know, but there are two federal constitutions. You have the original one that was done in 1776, and that is for the American people. Then you had an hijack one, which is a corporate one in 1871. And I don't know which is which, meaning the names, but you have the United States of and you have the United States for. I'm not exactly sure which is which, but you can definitely check it out. Now, what they did was in 1871, they basically stole your country from you and turned and put a corporation on over top
Mm-hmm.
of a country. So so now instead of, because the way a trust works, you have three components to a trust. You have a grantor, that's the people, the tribes that granted that constitution. You have um, you have a trustee, that's all your mayors, anybody's in government office, from president on down.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in some type of office, that person is a trustee. Even a police officer, they are trustees. The trustee's job was to look after the beneficiaries. That is us. That is the people. We the people. The trustee's job was to look after we the people. Well, that's gotten hijacked. They hijacked that in 1871, and instead of everything going to the estate, they transferred which is the people. They made the beneficiaries the state. So that's why every time you lose something, or if you, it all goes back to the state.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we, they hijacked everything, and what's going on now is they are canceling the 1871 Constitution.
Mm.
That is being canceled out. My
So it's
home,
going back to the original
yes.
Constitution.
So it's going back to the people. The only problem is, I'm just going to say, just put it out there. Our people are not used to being free.
Oh no,
They're not.
I see that already with this Kanye situation.
Yes, they're not used to being. They don't even think like that free.
It's just
Like,
like Harriet Tubman.
yes,
Yeah, like she said, I would have freed a lot more slaves if they only knew they were slaves.
yes. And you have to understand, some people been sitting under massa so long that they don't know anything else.
Yeah,
This is,
they conditioned.
and Kanye is exposing it because he's exposing. Okay, here's they massa right here. Who's these? The guys that's been taking care of these guys. These are the guys. Your Leo Cohen. These guys been the ones maneuvering all this stuff. These are guys taking care of these guys, and these guys protect these guys.
Yeah, they do, because they not only that, but they don't like to see, since we're so conditioned not to see, not to let others be as successful as us. Like we always want to pick and choose who could be down, like we God. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just helping everybody. You know. Anyway.
No, no, no. I definitely agree with you. I was listening to a Dame Dash interview where he was talking about Leo Cohen, and he said straight up, he said Leo Cohen to his people ain't shit. He said
Mm-hmm.
he had to come to our people to try to be something. He said because when he go back to his people, they look at him like he ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all need to understand that. Like you know, that's like us picking on, I don't want to say ants. I don't want to put it out that bad,
Mm-hmm.
but like a cat.
Right, right.
Like, oh, I'm gonna take this over because it's nothing but a bunch of cats over here, and they don't really got no money like that. So take my influence and my money.
Exploit. They exploit
Yes,
us like everybody
yes.
else does.
So that's what's going on. So we have to stop this. I mean, we got to put a stop to it. And and these celebrities that's coming out, that we got to start xing them out. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I see a lot of people that in the general public that have their own minds, and I could tell who the ones that can think are and the ones who can't, just from this Kanye situation.
Definitely.
Just from
And
this. What's up, Broadway? But I felt like it was important for you to get up here and talk about what may happen in the coming months. But shoot, Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
yes,
So by Thanksgiving, y'all, just make sure y'all have a little extras in the house, like to last you for at least 6 weeks, right? New life.
look, I was telling them as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I will tell you as soon as possible. We don't know when it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to last long. I think it's going to go martial law. A couple weeks, whatever. But
It
yeah.
might not even be that. It might be a smooth transition. But what we're saying is just be prepared because things is about to change.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely about to change. I don't know if y'all was even paying attention. I mean, the sun is different. If you didn't notice that the sun was different this summer on how hot it was, and I still believe that the
It
weather.
was very hot this summer.
Yes, it's something. It's definitely more things going on than what they're telling us, and I'm talking about all around us. It's
All
definitely
around the board.
and just know, and I'm gonna say it again, people. Is this is the time? You know what I mean? But sit on the sideline. You got to get yourself mentally, physically, spiritually ready for the new change. You know,
But Kanye is kind of like preparing us for it by him coming out and trying to like for us to sever our ties with being so dependent on other races to do what we want to do. He's trying to show us independence. So if we can't get nothing else from what Kanye did, we should get that at least. And it
yeah,
coincides with what New Life came up here to tell us that there is a change going. Because if this would have happened any other time, he wouldn't have got this far. I don't think nobody ever got this far as Kanye got.
no. Again, they're
So,
the overlord. They're all gone. The
mm,
people, the whole system, Hollywood shut down. The whole system's gone. It's all gone. You know what I mean? That system is gone. So again, you're right. If he would have did this 10 years ago, he'd have been gone.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, he'd have been if he'd have did just
5 years ago.
yeah, he would have been gone.
Yeah.
But the system is definitely breaking down, and we have to sit back and eat our popcorn. Don't get involved in this shit
Mm-hmm.
because of the simple fact when two giants are fighting, it's no use of you getting in between it. And it's two giants that's fighting. Queen, let me just say this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
In case some of you do or may not or do not know, but the Rothschilds are being taken down. You have
Mm-hmm.
the Rothschilds against the Red Dragon family, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they're another Illuminati fashion. They're tired of them. It's time for you to get out of here. So they're smashing on them, getting them out of here. They
Right,
don't.
because they hogging everything up.
Yeah, well, their time is over. Their contract, from what I heard, they bought the crown from 1819 to 2019. It was a 200-year contract. It's
Mm-hmm.
over. Get out
Mm-hmm.
the seat. It's over.
So, do you think that COVID was a last ditch effort for them to try to keep control?
I thought, yeah. See, and let me say this because it's a. I watched a video of a guy, and this video came out in when we first joined this fight. This is like back in 2010. The guy, the video that he talked about that they had the ability to see the future. It was something about Project Looking Glass, and he said every time they came up and looked at 2012, it was they said it went to one timeline. Like they couldn't change it. Like
Mm-hmm.
no matter what they did, they said they thought it was broke. They thought they broke the machine. So understand, before all this, these people was playing with different timelines.
Mhm.
And we might not. I know it's kind of hard for some of us to fathom that some of the technologies that these people have, but this is what they was doing. But you
Mhm.
have to understand, it's a universal creator, and the universal creator shut that shit down. And they
Well,
said,
that's only nature right there. You
yeah,
can't keep manipulating nature. They got a lot the way away with it too much. They done did too much manipulating, too much poisoning, too much everything. They messed up the whole planet.
yes. Um, One thing I don't want to talk about it on here, but we definitely need to talk about Project Paperclip and what they did with that, where they brought in all the Nazis and why. I found
Hmm.
out, why they brought in and why they was able, why they had to bring those people in and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother,
Yeah, that's a
anybody.
whole different.
Yeah,
Right
that's a
now, we
whole
just
different
focused
topic.
on
You know what I
yeah.
mean? I don't want to go off topic here. I just wanted to go on, to let the people know about this. But if anybody want to know the history of it,
Hmm.
definitely, hey, you can bring me on at a later date, and we can go and I can let them know exactly what happened and how it happened and how these people was able to hijack um, the United States and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
you know, and how we ended up at this point. So.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. We hit on the main points, y'all. Please take heed, go back and listen to this video as many times as you need to. Get the information that you need because it's basically we're not trying to scare you. It's just a transition that's gonna happen. There sometimes are resets. The last reset was I would say the Great Depression, right, New Life?
Yeah, yeah. They normally have them about like every 70 years, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but also don't forget in the 19, I think it was 1972. That's when we went off the gold standard. So that's kind of like a reset, also. But you're
Oh,
right.
okay.
In
Okay.
1929, they did. Um, they did when they went through the bankruptcy, because if people don't understand, that was very important. And I want to, Queen, I want to touch on this real quick. Let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you, they took all your land in the early 1900s. They robbed Black Wall Street, and understand, Black Wall Street just wasn't, that was the bank for us, for
Mm-hmm.
people of color. That was the bank. So if you wanted to open up a store or whatever, to get along, you went to Black Wall Street. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
go to their banks. You didn't go to no damn Bank of America. You
Mm-hmm.
went to Black Wall Street, and they will loan you the money so you can open up your stores and whatever. We had our own financial situation. So
Mm-hmm.
knocking out Black Wall Street meant knocking out your bank. You no longer had a bank. You no longer had to anyone to go to get any money from. So now you had to go to them.
And we
And
have to bow
you know,
down. Mm-hmm.
so and I'm saying this because what happened was, um, it happened all over the country. It wasn't just Black Wall Street; it was all over. Every single state had their own version of Black Wall Street, where and it's so crazy
Oh
because
wow!
people are
So
not.
that was the one that got blown up was the headquarters.
Yes, that was, but I'm telling you, it was like 26 different ones. Of course, you seen, because Rosewood came out first,
Hmm.
and then it's one in Georgia. I forget the town
Was
in
it
Georgia.
start with a C?
Yeah,
Cota or
something
something?
like that. It was
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, it was all over. Now, what happened was, after they took all your stuff, they they filed bankruptcy. Remember, they filed bankruptcy 1930. So now, how can you go and ask for your shit back? Oh, we bankrupt.
Hmm.
Government bankrupt. After they robbed you, took your shit, now they claim they took all your stuff. Now they file bankruptcy. Now here come
Hmm.
the IRS. Now here comes the whole,
And then they
basically.
try to take whatever we got left too. Don't leave them with
Yes,
nothing.
yes, yeah. So you couldn't even go, and who you gonna sue? Hey, people are black. Who you gonna sue?
Hmm.
They filed bankruptcy. You know, yo, I'm telling you, everything, if you pay attention, was about us. And I just want to put that out there. You know, so people don't think that, we never had nothing. No, that's that's BS. Everything that they everything that they taught you in school, don't throw that shit in the trash. I'm being
Yeah,
honest with you. The stuff that I study will blow circles around you because, you know, I realized that they didn't lie about some things; they lied about every damn thing.
everything. That's the way they got control. But we're gonna wrap this up, New Life. We could come back again. Maybe we should do something once a week.
Oh, no, it's no problem, Queen. And if anybody want to reach me anything on Facebook, my name is Jason L. So anybody have any questions or just want to shoot it up, hey, look, my name's Jason L. And that's it. I just wanted to let the people know, and I feel as though it just was important. So number one, don't panic. Anything that's going on, sit your ass on the sideline and eat your popcorn.
And eat your popcorn because this is not your fight. But I do want y'all to know that to be prepared to see what you're about to see. So y'all have a blessed evening. Jason L, thank you for coming through.
Oh, you're welcome, Queen. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Peace and
Peace.
love.